Thank you very much. The chaplains, you may take your seats. Sir, I want to warmly welcome you to Headquarters Kenya Army here at Gawang Gardens for today's change of guard. The change of guard ceremony marks the official handover of the Army Commander. In this case, the outgoing Army Commander, Lieutenant General Koipaton, who is handing over to Lieutenant General Njiru. Sir, our program for today will be as follows. We shall start with speeches by the outgoing commander, who will then invite the incoming commander. The next item will be the signing of handing over and taking over certificate. Then I will read a short biography for the incoming commander. Then we will have the change of guard parade and the handover and taking over of the Kenya Army flag. We will proceed to the next item, which will be presentation of memento by the staff, by the commander, Kenya Army, the new commander. And then we'll have a planting of commemorative tree by both commanders. We'll have a photo session outside the entrance of Headquarters Kenya Army. And from there on, we'll proceed for the luncheon at Officers' Mess, Headquarters Kenya Army. After the luncheon, we'll have a valedictory pull-out parade, where the outgoing commander will mount a ceremonial vehicle, and it will be pulled by the general officers and the formation commanders. And this marks the end of an illustrious career in the military by Lieutenant General Koipaton. At this point in time, it is my privilege and honor to invite our Deputy Army Commander to make his remarks and invite the outgoing commander to make his speech. Deputy Army Commander, sir.
The outgoing Army Commander, Lieutenant General Walter Raria Koipaton, the incoming Army Commander, Lieutenant General Njiru Mbogo, Madam Susan and Madam Mercy, wives to the two generals, Commandant, National Defense College, Vice Chancellor, National Defense University, General Officers, the Chairperson, and members of the Military Wives Association of Kenya, Senior Officers, Defense Forces Sergeant Major, ASM, GSM, all warrant officers present, senior NCOs, service members, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Standing before you to thank the outgoing Army Commander is a very heavy task. But in a very few words, I will try. And sir, on behalf of the Kenya Army officers and service members, I take this opportunity to thank you most sincerely for the exemplary stewardship of the Army for the last 4 years. Thank you, sir, for your leadership, mentorship, and above all, your humility. It has humbled all the officers and service members of this headquarters. Sir, it is noteworthy that in the light of the complexity and the contested nature and dynamic nature of the operational environment, you have offered guidance in the Kenya Army operations at all levels. And never you got tired of visiting your troops in the field, despite your busy schedule, and sir, particularly the last 1 year, without a deputy army commander while I was away on other military duties. Sir, on the front of welfare, you have strongly supported the operationalization of the army welfare system for the common good of our service personnel. Sir, as you proceed on your retirement, I believe you will find time to write your memoirs for the 40 years of service. And allow me, sir, to give you a tip. You wrote a book, a good one. We call it Amisom 3, Beating of the Odds. That can be your platform. To the incoming Army Commander, sir, please allow me, on behalf of the officers and service members and my own behalf, to congratulate you first for your promotion and appointment as our Army Commander. Sir, we acknowledge that you are equal to the task, and you will take the Army to another level to attain the full mission and vision of the service, especially focusing on the overall achievement of the KDF mandate of protecting the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya. With those very few remarks, allow me with all humility to invite the outgoing Army Commander to make his remarks.
Thank you very much, General Bill Shume. Commander Kenya Army, Lieutenant General Peter Bogo Njiru, Deputy Army Commander, Vice Chancellor, National Defense University, Kenya, my colleague and friend, Lieutenant General John Amwangi, Commandant, National Defense College, Lieutenant General Albert Kiprop Kendagor, General Officers here present, Formation Commanders, Chiefs of Branches, Senior Officers, Officers, Chairperson of the Military Wives Association of Kenya, Madam Tabitha Kiboshi, and your esteemed team, Defense Forces Sergeant Major, Owan Aspro Koranga, Army Sergeant Major, Owan Mahebu, our dear families here present, warrant officers, senior NCOs, service members here present, good afternoon. Ahua. Ahua. God is good, and all the time. And therefore, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall be glad and rejoice in it. Let me take this early opportunity, first of all, to thank our Lord for keeping us well and bringing us up to this point. I must appreciate each and every one of you for gracing this landmark event. This event is significant in my 40 years career, in that today I hand over the reins of Army Command to Lieutenant General Peter Bogo Njiru, a military general officer who I have known for a long time and interacted with before. I want to thank the Almighty God for bringing me this far. This is a journey I started as a young man of 20 and a half years. I came in with the normal afro the young people would have. I came in the platforms that we wore that time and the bell bottom. But now, aging graciously, I thank my Lord that He has kept me strong all this time. I take this opportunity again to thank the Commander-in-Chief, the Defense Council, the Chief of Defense Forces, for bestowing me their trust to lead the Army for 4 years. I will live with gratitude for the men and women, both officers and service members, who I have been honored to work with for the last 40 years. It has been my highest honor to serve alongside you all. It is indeed great pleasure today to hand over command of the Army after completing my 4 years as required. I want to appreciate also the confidence that the Defense Council had in the promotion and appointment of Lieutenant General Peter Njiru, an officer who had a promising career since he was young officer and has held raft, command, staff, and training positions. And therefore, his biography speaks volumes. During my career, I was enacted into an oath that I will never fail my comrades and continue to believe in that oath to date. I have always strived to be the leader that the Army deserved, not just in words, but in deeds. I prayed to God when I was appointed Army Commander to give me the wisdom, to give me the ability, to give me the energy, health, and above all, humility to listen to all that I led, and equally to listen carefully and take instructions from my seniors. I am grateful that I'm handing over without a single day that I thought it would have been different. I have led the army not because I was strong, but because the team behind me and those in front of me were a strong team to work with. The formation commanders who are here with me today, and the resilience of the Kenya Army soldier has led us this far. Even with the contemporary situations that we face, the challenges of these days, I prayed to God to give us the energy to move forward. I am appreciative with the support I got from the Defense Headquarters, from the Ministry, and from the Chief of Defense Forces, General Kiboshi himself. That support and support of all my formation commanders, led by the Deputy Army Commander, the General Officers Commanding, and all the formation commanders and the soldier made it happen. The army stands firm not because of the army commander, but because of the resilience of the army soldier. As I hand over the reins of power, this power can only be good if it is serving the purpose for which you have been given. I hand over to my friend, General Njiru, at a time when the army is deployed in 6 theaters. The army is deployed in close operations. It is deployed in hotspots. It is deployed in internal security. It is deployed in Boni. It is deployed in Somalia. And I have troops in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And those troops and those in between are the ones that keep the army commander awake more hours than you would have expected. But I want to encourage the incoming army commander that the support you have from the men and women of the army, both officers and service members, is one you can count on. And mine is to urge all in the army to provide the best support possible to the incoming commander. Commanders are appointed to take the lead and work through other leaders. And therefore, from the private to the general, everybody has a role to play. And you can only succeed through humility and working with them. My unbroken service ends today as I hand over the stewardship of the army. But my comfort is that the experience that General Njiru has in diverse fields makes him capable to take charge in the current dynamic and complex defense and security environment. The army is an institution charged with the unstinting and unwavering task of protecting this country, its interests, and future prosperity against all land-based threats and aggression. And that is why the motto says, Kenya Army, ngao ya taifa. Kenya Army is the shield of this nation. And to be able to protect the lives of Kenyans and their property, you need a cohesive, united army. The Kenya Defense Forces prides in jointness, and therefore, as for you, General Njiru, as you lead the army, the joint aspect of working with the Air Force, with the Kenya Air Force and the Kenya Navy, creates more strength for the army. Kenya Army, as a constituent of the Kenya Defense Forces, has played a huge role in national agenda by engaging in national development projects, which has greatly improved our image. This opportunity has definitely taken even higher the aspects of Kenya Defense Forces contributing to national development. As the army, you will be called from time to time to take part in these programs. And therefore, apart from the core mandate that you have, you will also undertake tasks pursuant to our secondary role in supporting other agencies in terms of disaster or other natural calamities. I must also single out the support of the Kenya Army by Defense Headquarters through the initiatives of the Chief of Defense Forces in many programs that have helped improve the lives and the welfare of the Kenya Army. I may not be able to name them all today, but suffice it to say, the Kenya Army today boasts of some of the most modern facilities, to include hospitals, the regional hospitals, housing, and equipment for the army. And that as you take the reins of leading the army, I have no doubt that that support is even going to be improved. There are programs that are completed, there are those that you will continue with. But it is important to remind that equipping the army at all times so that they become the insurance that Kenyans want is a very important aspect to pursue. Allow me also to appreciate the outstanding support that we have had with the new outfit, the Military Wives Association of Kenya. That great brigade of ladies of the military is a team you can count on for the welfare of our soldiers. In the short time they have been in office, the troops have found another channel of their support to welfare programs. To you, Madam Tabitha Kiboshi, and your team, I would like to appreciate that you have led your team together with your committee, that today you know where all the soldiers are in terms of barracks, facilities, more than some of the formation commanders. Because formation commanders don't cross over. But you have been able to travel through all the formations to see where you can help. And particularly for a force, the army, which is deployed in operations and challenged by issues of stressful situations, they have found a shoulder to lean on. I thank you very much. To our families who have supported us through our tenure, I joined the army when I came from my place of domicile alone. I did not have a family. I did not have children. But now as I retire, I am happy that KDF did not only give me work, did not only give me wisdom, did not give me friends, but gave me a family. And I want to introduce my wife, Susan. Susan is my wife. And na watoto wasimame. Yeah. My firstborn is not here. He will not be able to be with us because of where he is working, the exigencies of what he does. And therefore, the firstborn is not here. Secondborn is my daughter, Irene. Irene is the firstborn, is the secondborn. Brian is a thirdborn. Evans is the fourth. And my firstborn's wife, Michelle, in the middle. And little granddaughters who are here also to be with us today. Now, this is the army I'm going to lead now, from now on. And I will be the commander. Susan will be my deputy. That cabinet is not a bad one. It is smaller than the one I've been managing. This big one was my Wapi formation commanders. What is Imam? Formation commanders. GOCs. GOCs. Alafu. Staff officers. Simama hapo. Hii watu yote ndio walikuwa kwa mgongo yangu. General Njiru, you have less work because these good people will work for you. You have I have no doubt of that. Please sit down. So I leave this big one for this smaller one. And therefore, I am going to rest. Otherwise, at this age, kwenda kwa kazi ingine ngumu, hapana rahisi. But I must thank God that through those years, even as we went about the military work, my family has been fully supporting to me. There is no single day they have asked me, what is this Ahmado you keep talking about? What is this Beleskogan you're talking about? They have never asked that. They always prayed that I do the best for the army in the time that I am in the army. I must also add that one of the issues that Military Wives Association pursues is the welfare of the military families. The military families. And I'm happy as I retire. This lady I met long time ago when she was young, I was also not old that time, is the same one I have, na ndiye tunaenda naye Sultan Ahmad pamoja. I urge you, my soldiers, take care of your families, because at retirement, you will begin to ask whether they are going with you or you are going your way. I am happy Susan said we are going the same direction. And that can only happen if you've shared what you've worked for with them. If you don't, then you have a problem. I appeal to you to take care of those families. Commander, as I finish, first of all, I offer my prayers. I offer my support when you require. I offer prayers to you and to your family, that God provides you with best wisdom to lead the army and gives you the comfort of mind that your family stays well so that you keep to the job, because it will take many hours of your family. But with God's support and support of Defense Headquarters and support of these great people and the soldiers, you will make it. I have taken time to take the commander to where the troops are. I have taken him to close ops. I have taken him to Somalia. I have taken him to Lamu. He will find a way of going to DRC. But I assured him that the troops in DRC are well because I saw them recently. And therefore, as he comes in, I have already taken him to most areas because this was a deliberate plan. And I knew it is important for a commander to understand. Commander, these staff officers and these soldiers seated here are only a fraction of what the army is. You have seen them in the field. But this handover today was about the headquarters Kenya Army. And therefore, these are the staff officers and service members who support you to lead the others outside this camp. And I want to also thank them before you. I must appreciate the staff officers and service members who have supported me in this headquarters for all that we have done in the 4 years. The most important part in the staff, whether they are in operations, training, logistics, medical, or any branch that there is here in the headquarters, is your integrity. Your integrity, and tell the commander the truth so that he can make decisions based on facts. This headquarters is not about rumors. It is about working. And I have no doubt that you'll provide the same to the commander. There is no day I've woken up feeling different because some letter was in the wrong office. Everybody has done his part, and I say thank you to you. With those many remarks, allow me now to invite the commander, General Njiru, to speak to us. And where we are adjusting a program a bit after the commander has spoken, and before we sign the command document, the Vice Chancellor, National Defense University, General John Mwangi will speak. General John Mwangi and I joined the same day. This great general, and I'm happy because he's leading our best institution, joined with me the same day. John Mwangi worked with me in this headquarters. I have not seen a worker like John. No wonder he's now the Vice Chancellor of the National Defense University. John and I joined with a group of other 113 officers, and therefore we came 115 to work. It is today I'm leaving John alone to continue. To continue holding the flag of Intake 15 very, very high. And I know you can, Jonah. I know you can. And therefore, Jonah will speak for 1 minute before we sign the documents. For now, I invite the commander to take the podium and speak to us. Thank you, Commander.
Outgoing Commander Kenya Army, Lieutenant General Walter Aria Koipaton, Deputy Army Commander, Vice Chancellor, National Defense University, Kenya, Commandant, NDC, Commandant, KME, GOCs, General Officers, Formation Commanders, Chief of Branches, Senior Officers, Chairperson of MWAC, Madam Tapida Kibochi, and our esteemed team, DFSM, ESM, our dear families present, warrant officers, senior NCOs, and service members present. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Kenya Army. Kenya Army. Allow me at this moment, first and foremost, seek to reflect on ourselves as individuals, be it uniformed personnel and our families. Because if we look into ourselves, we come from every corner of this great country. And God saw it fit for us to come together, join KDF, and most importantly, Kenya Army, and therefore become one family. I also want to recognize the families, because when they joined us, whether they are here or the ones in our families, they accepted to be part and parcel of this great family of Kenya Army. I would also want to thank Commander Kenya Army, the CDF, Defense Council, and also the Commander-in-Chief for having the confidence and trust to see that I can take up the challenge of being the Army Commander, and I will remain indebted to all of them. To the families led by MWAC, I know the outgoing commander has also mentioned about you, but there is a special element in you that has really touched us as the leadership and the family of KDF. You have allowed us the opportunity to work well. You have also complimented in command, and I want to believe our welfare now is well positioned due to your input. Continue with the same spirit. I know, sir, at this particular moment, it's a great moment when we witness the transition of leadership of Kenya Army. But I want to reflect on, again, things which I've seen in you as a commitment, fair, resilience, and you are out to give the best to the Kenya Army. You have lived the true to the vision and mission of the Kenya Army by always endeavoring and ensuring that the arrowhead is sharpened. You remain an embodiment of success, especially in operations you initiated and oversaw during your tenure. Recalling the process of handover takeover, when it commenced, I clearly remember your deliberate brief on what are the projections, the vision of the Kenya Army. Also, you brought out the deployments of our troops across the country. The plans in place to further Kenya Army, and even the challenges also, you did not state, but on the challenges, you also brought out very clearly the mitigating plans in place so that we can overcome them. Mine is to promise you that I will follow the same trajectory so that the Kenya Army reaches where the vision and desires of the leadership is. You also never took tired. Because I recall after the brief you said, the best place to understand where Kenya Army is going to the Arrowhead. And as you correctly said, we visited depots, a lot of FOBs, we visited them, the close-ups as well, Operation Amani Boni, the security arrangement for LAPSET, as well as the LNC FOBs. Because you are convinced the best to do it was by going and seeing, understanding the plans in place, what is happening, and then so that you can have a projection and plans of where the army requires to be. You have done an excellent job leading these great men and women during a very dynamic and complex security situation. But what I can see and what I can say, you should be proud of all the accomplishments the Kenya Army has achieved during your tenure. After your 4 years of stewardship, you are leaving a stronger army, an army that is founded on professionalism and able to respond to any crisis or any developmental plans or tasking allocated to the army. We have seen enormous patriotism in defending the territorial integrity of our country against external aggression and aiding the civil authorities whenever called upon as enshrined in the Constitution of Kenya. As a result, you have always guarded the interests of our great country, Kenya, and your father endeavored and he did sharpened the arrowhead. Allow me to appreciate the great work that was done by the commanders at different levels, the trainers, the staff, officers, and staff personnel at Headquarters Kenya Army for supporting the outgoing commander to steer the army in all ways to ensure that the standards, the army stands strong in day-to-day endeavors. I request that you extend the same support and cooperation to me. I would also want to express my deep personal appreciation, gratitude in the manner in which the commander personally took me through over the years in mentorship. I have consulted you in many times, and you're always keen to hear. As we continue to visit various areas, I remember sharing with you the early moments of the night, of the day that you used to call me just to understand where we were and what we are progressing in my previous deployment. For the leadership of various formations, as I have mentioned earlier, I would also want to assure you the same commitment that the commander handed to you through guidance, I will also offer you So my doors will remain open so that we can continue with the same arrangements. I understand there are a lot of challenges we are facing today, but with the plans in place and teamwork, we shall overcome. And therefore, the challenges shall always be met with a clear, open, a focused mind, effective partnership, and synchronized efforts from all corners. We shall continue providing deterrence, confronting us, as well as the diverse demands of irregular and hybrid warfare. Our ability to respond when called depends on the skills and dedication of the great men and women serving the army. Outgoing Commander, sir, I know you have taken me through a lot. But there is nothing that we can offer you at this particular moment. What we can do is to offer prayers to you, seek God's blessings and good health when you are going to your next commitment. You have served this nation with great honor, and therefore it's our prayer that once you move to the next commitment, which usually is our 5th period of training, the resettlement is our 5th period of training. So we pray for you that you have enough energy and strength to be able to effect or implement that next commitment. And to our command group and staff of the headquarters, I call upon, we offer Commander the prayers, and also I would want to urge you that we continue with the same spirit that you set and rhythm, trajectory, so that we can get to the next level of the Kenya Army. With those few remarks, allow me also to recognize, I think our families, I know we are not able to do whatever we are doing if it is not with your support. I came with my wife, Mercy. She's Mercy Bogo. I know many of you call me Njiru, but she's Mercy Bogo. We have our firstborn daughter, Lorraine. Our second daughter, Dolin, and our last born, who is a son, Ryan. So for me, at this particular moment, is just to say, I am joining a working system. I'm joining an headquarter that is functional, professional, or committed to its work. And therefore mine, I is just to continue with the same trajectory that the Kenya Army, led by the outgoing Army Commander, the trajectory it was following, that is the same I will follow. Thank you very much.
On August 26, 2011, a new dawn swept through the judiciary. For the first time, Kenya was putting in place a Supreme Court.
And the expectation of justice is the greatest thing, in fact.
Bringing together a distinguished bench of Kenyans who had been selected through a public vetting process which included televised interviews.
I, Nancy Makoha Baraza.
Among the new judges was renowned advocate and human rights activist Nancy Makoha Baraza, a former chairperson of the Kenyan chapter of the Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, and a former member of the Yashpal Gai Commission that midwifed the Boma's draft constitution. On this day, Baraza was making history as Kenya's first female deputy chief justice. But barely 4 months later, on New Year's Eve, Baraza would face the wrath of many Kenyans after news broke that she had pinched the nose of a guard at a mall in Nairobi. Her critics cited Chapter 6 on the Constitution that she had sworn to uphold. She had to bow out. In a TV interview almost a decade later, Baraza said her resignation was never about the law, but rather a higher standard, morality.
We have to reevaluate our value system. Yeah. What is good for us? What is bad for us? What value system do we want? So that we cannot, for example, stick on illegalities and say, oh, because the law says this, let me be here. At least sometimes we should probably consult our morals, our ethics, yeah. And sometimes maybe just step aside.
That whole incident did not bring respect or honor to our office, which is what Chapter 6 says, that when you occupy public office, you must act in a manner that brings respect and honor and is not demeaning to your office. But then here we have people who have been caught on camera shooting, almost attempting to kill other individuals. People who have been accused of and charged in court for murder. Actually, I think we have one gubernatorial candidate who was answering to a criminal case where she's been accused of murder, and then one who's seeking Senate who's also answering to murder charges. But they have been cleared. How? And yet we had someone removed from office for pinching a nose.
Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero slapping the county women representative over the county workers' strike.
The issue of integrity under the Constitution is aspirational. It depends on the leader who is then faced with that issue. So, for example, the leader of an institution where an offense has occurred, is he willing to open up the institution for investigation? I guess if you're to compare, I don't know, during Nancy Baraza's, I guess the Chief Justice then was William Mutunga. He was willing to open up and ensure that the process is done. Even though if he wanted, he could have called into the cage and protected his officers.
The economic scene is so difficult domestically and internationally. And
in many countries around the world, leaders have been forced to step aside over integrity questions, even if no criminal charges were pressed against them. Just recently, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was forced to resign for, among other allegations, lying to the public over a public appointment he had made.
My friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable.
But in Kenya, the moral test appears to have failed, leaving many Kenyans to pin their hopes on the criminal justice system. That
in good times and bad times, because you need a shoulder on which you can lean on in good times and bad times. General Njiru, we want to wish you well. We are so grateful to you. We can always turn to us to extend help and even to laugh a little bit, because big office is also very lonely. So if you find time, please call us and we'll be able to join up with you to be able to encourage you as you take the great mantle of leading our KDF as part of our KDF. For this country, I think we have a great leader in General Njiru. KDF should be able to find a lot of comfort in having appointed General Njiru as our commander. Let me ask this team again to extend a round of applause to General Njiru and his family and all of us for a good job. So let me end it there and to thank you very much once again for inviting us here. Thank you, General. Thank you.
Sir, the next item on the program will be signing of handover and taking over certificate. I now kindly request the outgoing commander, Lieutenant General Koipaton, to take his position to sign the handing over certificate. Next, sir, I kindly request the incoming commander, Lieutenant General Njiru. Thank you very much, sir. Next, I'm going to read to you a short biography of the incoming commander. Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo is the commander of the Kenya Army. Following his promotion and appointment on 20th of June this year, he was enlisted into the Kenya Defense Forces as an officer cadet on 24th June 1985 and commissioned as a second lieutenant on 26th June 1986. Upon commissioning, he was posted to 77 Artillery Battalion as a troop commander, and later where became a commanding officer in the same unit. He served in many regimental capacities, key among them administration officer, adjutant, battery captain, battery commander, instructor in Air Defense Wing, staff officer 2, training, also an instructor in gunnery, a desk officer, operations and logistics, staff officer 2 in personnel and logistics, a battalion second in command, and became a commanding officer in 2006 in 77 Artillery Battalion in Mariakani. During his illustrious career in the Kenya Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Njiru has held various command and staff and instructional related appointments in various Kenya Defense Forces establishments, including Staff Officer 1, or an SO1, responsible for operations, plans, doctrine, and training at the Kenya Defense Headquarters. In addition, he served as an ADC to the Commander-in-Chief, Commandant Recruit Training School in Eldoret, Commandant Kenya Military Academy in Lanet, Commandant Joint Command and Staff College, formerly known as the Defense Staff College in Karen, and currently he is the Commander, Kenya Army. He has also served in the United Nations mission in Sudan, commonly known as UNMISS, where he was commanding officer of the Kenya Battalion and a staff officer in the United Nations mission in Ethiopia and Eritrea. Lieutenant General Njiru has attended diverse local and overseas courses related to leadership, command, and management. These include, but are not limited to, Junior Command Course, Grade 2 Staff Course, Command Course, International Battle Group Commanders Course, Next Generation of Military Leaders Course, Royal College of Defense Studies Course, and Public Finance Management Workshop. Lieutenant General Njiru is a graduate of Royal College of Defense Studies course in the United Kingdom, and he earned a Master of Arts in International Security and Strategy from King's College, London. In recognition for his distinguished and exemplary service, His Excellency, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, has awarded him Chief of Burning Spear, that is CBS, among others. Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo Njiru is married and is blessed with 3 children. Thank you very much. And next now, we will have the change of a guard parade March on.
Gardens, the headquarters of the Kenya Army. What is now entering the gardens is a special guard of honor by the 7th Kenya battalions of the 7th Battalion of the Kenya Rifles. Just walking in, this will be two significant guards. One will be an old one for the retiring general, and another a new guard for the incoming general, Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo Njiru, who is taking over as the new commander of the Kenyan Army, having served a stellar career from rising from the ranks of second lieutenant in the artillery corps of the Kenya Army, and they're just getting ready and set to continue with these guards and taking cue from their leaders and just prepping themselves to be able to undertake this important responsibility this day. So both commanders will walk down this particular aisle that has been created for their honor this afternoon. And just before we continue, let's just listen into this breather a bit.
I now kindly request the outgoing commander and the incoming commander to take their positions for the parade.
So first up is Lieutenant General Walter Koipaton, and it's significant that this is the very hour that the Islamic Adhan is coming into focus this afternoon. There they go. There he goes, Lieutenant General Walter Koipaton, undertaking his last official guard of honor. This particular guard being identified as the old guard, taking his position at the spot where it has been marked on his behalf. Now it's the turn for the Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo Njiru to inspect a new guard and the officers there. Just going through the paces before the new man in charge at the Kenya Army headquarters makes his way into his first official inspection of a guard as the new army commander this day. the 8th of August 2022, the man himself, having served in various capacities, going up into the artillery corps and rising up to the ranks as the new commander of the Kenya Army, taking his position there at the spot. The two gentlemen giving each other a sign of approval just before they hand over each other the flag of the Kenya Army. The regimental sergeant major of the Kenya Army there holding
the commander now,
the maroon flag.
Will hand over the Kenya Army flag to the new commander.
Handing the Kenya Army flag to the new commander, Lieutenant General Peter Mbogo Njiru, in this significant ceremony that signifies the official handing over ceremony. And there we go, the old handing over to the new in a significant historical moment here, where the old general now leaves office, heading into retirement, leaving the mandate to the new commander of the Kenya Army, the largest service of the Kenya Defense Forces, with the largest number of troops and bases across the length and breadth of Kenya. The RSM takes over again. Both gentlemen now officially leaving here, serving as the end of this guard of honor mounted on their behalf in this very critical handover, changeover ceremony here at the Kenya Army headquarters.
Sir, we are almost winding up, and I will request that we present memento to the outgoing commander.
So with the officialities out of the way, it is time to say goodbye socially to the outgoing commander, Lieutenant General Walter Koipaton, who will receive gifts as part of bidding him goodbye as the guard stands here in wait in the middle of this square, in the middle of the officers that he commanded for the last 4 years. He has been an officer from the 3rd Kenya Rifles, going up the ranks into leadership of the Kenya Army. The first gift wrapped in a bow in traditional fashion.
Outgoing Army Commander and incoming Army Commander, I kindly request you to take your position for the memento.
Sir, the incoming Commander Kenya Army, on behalf of officers and service members of the Kenya Army, presents this memento in commemoration of 40 years of your illustrious military service. Sir, in honor of your meritorious service, the Kenya Army, inspired by the wisdom of the Commander, chose this memento themed on the ranks, honors and awards that you have most deservedly earned while serving the Republic of Kenya as a military officer. Sir, the memento features the following symbolism. Your photo on the Kenya Army's ceremonial dress, framed with the Kenya Army maroon color, symbolizes a journey that began in the military on 14th May 1982, that you have studiously navigated all the way to the highest office in the Kenya Army. Sir, as an enduring tribute, we have affixed your actual ceremonial badges of rank of Lieutenant General. Below the photograph, we have affixed the logos of the Kenya Defence Forces and the Kenya Army, placed above the logos of the Westcom that you've held from the 3rd Battalion, the Kenya Rifles, DHQ, 6th Brigade, Westcom, and finally at the headquarters Kenya Army as the commander. Sir, we have also emplaced all the 12 honors and awards that you earned in the 40 years of exemplary dedication and diligent service to the Republic of Kenya. Further, we have listed 14 of your key appointments that are illustrative of your sterling performance, which earned you the 10 military officer ranks, culminating in the attainment of the appointment in the Kenya Army and the 2nd highest military rank. Lastly, sir, the memento pens off with words that you often used in your tour of service, especially in command, and which also define you: commitment, hard work, selflessness, fairness, and resilience. Sir, the next photo we are presenting you with was taken on 23rd March 2020 at Isiolo during exercise Sharp Barrel. This photo that has been drawn by hand on goat skin captures your sheer commitment in ensuring the soldiers are well trained and mission ready always.
Thank you very much, sir. And let's once again give a round of applause to the outgoing commander. Sir, this marks the end of our ceremony here. But before we depart, I would kindly request you to plant a commemorative tree as a sign of remembrance of this historic day. And you will be accompanied by the new Army commander.
So before leaving here for a special luncheon and that all significant goodbye where he will be traveling aboard an open top Land Rover, the two gentlemen now go into planting a commemorative tree here at the Ngao Gardens as a sign of remembrance of the retiring general's service to the Kenya Army. This quite significant tradition that the military has continued over time, each one having a special plaque for the retiring commander and the incoming commander with the plaques already placed before them. And the name of the tree is the Thika palm, the Felsium decipens in Latin.
The last item on the program, as we break off, we have a session of photo session. The family members and the military voice and religion of Kenya to position themselves to demonstrate protest photos. For the family members and missionaries and religion, we give a photo. Thank you.
So the two gentlemen now exit these gardens, one exiting this for the very first time as the new commander, and the other for his very last time here. They head on to a special luncheon in honor of each one of them before Lieutenant General Koipaton is bid goodbye from the Kenya Army headquarters, a place he has served for more than 40 years as an officer and also 4 years as the commander of the Kenya Army. For the moment, we take a break and take you back to Lois in Eldoret as we wait for that luncheon to happen, and then we will be live when the retiring Army commander will be driven aboard that open-top Land Rover and escorted by generals who served under him over the years.
As live from the Kenya Army DoD